Oh, we're live. Hello, hello, hello. We're back. We are previewing NYCFC. Ron is with us. He has defeated his technical difficulties. Say hello, Ron.
Hey, everybody.
And Andres is back from NYCFC Podcast. Say hello, Andres.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for letting me come on the show again, guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Love having you. If you guys didn't notice, you continually to see the same guests because these are the people I like working with. So if you don't like them, don't watch. But anyway, so NYCFC is in decent form, although they are out of the playoff race. Yeah! There are 3 wins, 2 losses in their last 5. Their last game was a big loss to DC. That kind of gave us a bump up and gave them a bump down. So, we're a little bit closer to the red line than they are, and they can't get there, and we still can. So that's my cheap shot at you, Andres. I hope you don't mind. NYCFC is 37 points. I think that's pretty close to the lowest. I think the lowest is 34 in the league. So
Chicago's got 30.
30, okay, so
not that bad.
Yeah, not awful.
Not awful, but all right. Anyway, we have some people out. They will have Lampard for sure. Pirlo, sorry, he probably won't play. Hopefully, Andres can talk to us a little bit about that. I know he missed the Azerbaijan game, and their next game is in Rome. So, and I don't know who Italy plays, but that's that. Poku got called up, but the Ghana game is in D.C., so he should make it back in time to travel. Discrude also got called up, but he doesn't even have to go anywhere because the game is at Red Bull Arena, so he's just got to go down there to Jersey and do his thing. As far as Orlando City goes, we will have no Darwin Surin, we will have no Kaká, we will have no Shea. We probably won't have Ramos. We probably won't have Redding. I don't know what's going on with Koriash because they don't tell anybody anything about it. I didn't even know he was hurt until I just looked at the injury report before we started recording. And the Honduran U23 team lost, so Roches should be back in time to travel. With that said, we'll jump in. Andres, can you talk to us maybe a little bit about Pirlo and if you guys are expecting him and if there's any kind of injuries or anything that I missed that you wanted to talk about?
I mean, I don't know if we're expecting him to play. I just recently looked up where I always research my amazing analysis and information on the Reddits that we have. We actually have a really great fan base who continually update that, and I look there immediately. I don't see anything going on right now. That could change later in the week. But as you said, we're out of the playoffs. So what's the real reason for having him play? I would prefer to see some of our younger players play these last 2 matches that we have just to see what we've got left. I mean, it'd be great to see Pirlo play and beat you guys like we did last time. But, you also haven't seen Lampard, and that'll be a new wrinkle in our offense. In terms of Mixed Discrude being out, he's playing in Red Bull, but he's also been an enigma this whole season for us. He did score that tying goal early in the season on our first match at your stadium. Otherwise, he's been, hot or cold, and honestly, I think he's been more cold than he has been hot. So these players that are there that may probably not be on our team come. I think we play Friday. Friday, yeah, Mix, Pirlo, and Poku. It's sad to see Poku leave, but it's great for him to have this opportunity as well. So I don't know what to expect. I want to see younger players over older players, but hey, I'm not the manager here.
And I think that maybe one of the only reasons that you guys would try and field the best lineup you can, like you said, you're out and I said it, is that, this is like the battle of the expansions. You guys might want to just try and sneak out. Your coach even probably wants to just try and finish above us. Regardless, even if both of us miss, like we're still duking it out, like the battle of the expansion franchises. Ron, what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's my dogs. Sorry, go ahead.
I would have said a couple weeks ago that when it didn't look like Orlando City had any chance to make the playoffs, it would have been a nice little kind of parting gift to beat NYCFC. But if we look back at this in a year or 2 years from now, are we really going to care if one team finished 2 or 3 points above the other? Probably not.
All right,
No, I don't think anyone cares. It's more about, I guess, this season's bragging rights of
Sure.
which of the expansion teams were better. But I think right now you're 4 points ahead of us, so things could change. But I wish you guys, there's no hate towards Orlando, in my opinion. It's a good rivalry game, I guess, for the third time this season. Tied once, crazy win on NYC side the second game, and so I'm looking forward to a really good match this time.
All right, and Andres, what do you said you want to see younger players? So what's the starting 11 you expect for NYCFC?
Thinking that we have these 3 players out, let's say Poku, Mix, and Peeler are out. Our coach has been basically using the same 4-5-1 midfield with 2 defensive midfielders. I think that might change because usually our 2 defensive midfielders are Andrew Jacobson and Pirlo. If Pirlo is out, I can see us going to a 4-1. 4-1-4-1 again with Villa up top by himself. I would personally like to see what's our player? Oh, geez, I'm drawing a blank. McNamara. He hasn't started for us in a while. He's been in the doghouse. He had an early fire in the early of the season, and then he kind of dwindled away along with Poku. I would like to see him come back. Kyrie Shelton, who's been hurt for quite some time, I would like to see him finish this season strong. Maybe get a goal here and a goal in our last game against the Revs. We're going to see Villa, as always. We're going to see Grabavoy and Lampard, most likely. And our back 4, I'd say it's going to be the same as it's been before, with winger probably Shea Facey over Mena, Hernandez, and our upcoming, future all-star right back RJ Allen, who's been starting over Iraola. So I'm pretty happy with our back 4, and of course our stout goalkeeper Josh Saunders has been amazing all season long.
All right, and Ron, who do you think our starting 11 will be with mixed match players that we're going to have to put together and try and get 3 points here?
Well, there's only certain players that are available. It's actually probably pretty easy to put together. You're going to have Laird up top. You'll have most likely, I would assume, Carlos Rivas on the left and Adrian Vinter on the right. That's the only 2 options because Luis Neal's going to have to fill in for Kaká at center attacking mid. And I know some people out there might not want that, but let's be realistic. We know that's definitely going to be where he plays. And quite frankly, I don't mind it as much as I used to because I don't think that there's really a better option there. And I think if Luis Neal's going to be on the field, that is a good position for him to be in. He's less of a liability there. So that will be the attacking 4. I think you'll have Higuita and, Sam, that Darwin Seren, he plays El Salvador plays tomorrow, so there's a chance he could be back. I mean, I don't know. It's iffy, but I mean, if he plays on a Tuesday, he could theoretically play on Friday. That would be the ideal to pair him up with Higuita. But obviously, if he's not there, Carrasco will pair up next to Higuita. And then the back line, we're looking at Luke Bowden on the left because Shea's out, and then you'll have Colin for sure as a center back, and then I think Mateos is available. So I would expect Mateos probably to move back in the starting lineup. And then at right back, you could have a combination of, I mean, it could be Corey Asher or it could be Seb Hines because I don't think Ramos is playing this week.
All right, well, I agree with you that on the wings and at striker, and I think that I know that Neal will play, but I don't want Neal to play. I mean, he's been playing okay, and you say playing him in the middle reduces his liability, and that statement I absolutely agree with. I mean, on the wing, I feel like he's there to play defense, and that's it because he offers nothing going forward. He hasn't all season. I don't think that as long as he's on our team, he will offer anything going forward. But anyway, I saw the interview with the coach this morning, and he said he doubts Seren will make it back. So that's where I got that information. Okay. The Sentinel put a little video up training before NYCFC was like 2 minutes long, and he said that we would most likely be without Seren. So that's why I put that in there. And I think we'll see, obviously, we'll see Higuita. He's been excellent. And I think we'll see Carrasco. He probably played his best game for us last game, maybe second best game, but definitely up there, especially I think he had a pretty good first half, and the second half was a little bit less. The back line, I agree on Bowden. I agree on Colin. I think we see Hines in at center back, not Mateos. He played really good there last game at home. He marked Drogba well. He obviously scored the goal, which none of us really were expecting, but we'll take him how we can get him, especially in the race. And on the right, I'm really hoping we see Ash. So
yeah, I would prefer Hines at center back and Ash at right back. It just depends on who's really the most fit to play there. Heath will probably go with whatever he's got the best feeling for, but I do agree with I think Hines should stay as the starting center back, even though Mateos is healthy again.
Yeah. So, the last time we played NYCFC was a goal bonanza.
Yeah.
And, I personally don't think that it's going to be like that again here. I don't think that it's, what was it, 5-3, 5-4?
I think it was 5-3. It was 4-3 at one point, and then we just scored that final goal to finally seal the deal, yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a goal bonanza again, but what is your guys' take on that, Andres? And then I'll go to you, Ron.
Sure. So I don't think it's going to be a goal bonanza again. I think it will be a much tighter game. It won't be a 1-1 game. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for NYCFC.
Oh, you got to wait till predictions, man.
He's so excited.
I'm too excited. So that's going to be my prediction.
The show just has that effect on people. People just love coming on so much that they get excited. But anyway, keep going.
Yeah, no, well, it's going to be a much tighter game. I already just said the score, so I'm not going to take it back. But I think it's going to be a tighter game in the early of the first half. I can see it being a 1-1 game, and then in the second half things open up. NYCFC seems to score the most goals toward the last 15 minutes of the game. At the same time, we also give up the most goals in the last 15 minutes of the game. So if I flip a coin, I think NYCFC is going to get this one off the right bat.
All right, Ron, what do you think? You think open scoring or?
Yeah, I think it depends how the game starts out. I do not agree with Andres at all. I'm not going to go into scores yet, but Orlando City has a ton to play for, and I generally look for these factors or indicators, I like to call them, when I'm trying to predict games, because NYCFC, let's be perfectly honest, they don't have a lot to play for. Sure, they have pride and all that, but this game's not on the crazy dimensions of their home field up there, which I think was which is very beneficial to them and not very beneficial to Orlando City, as we saw in the last game. But I think Orlando City is just on fire right now. I think their confidence is high. I don't think it matters much that they're missing Kaká. I think it probably matters more that they're missing Breck Shea this week. And I think if Orlando City gets an early lead, you could see a lot of goals, possibly mostly just for the home team. But that being said, I do expect it to be tight for a while, because I do think the teams have it's hard to call it a rivalry, but I do think there is the teams really go after each other. And I think that NYCFC will definitely put up a fight, but Orlando City has been pretty much unbeatable over the last month. And, they have everything to play for, and some of these other teams don't. And usually that matters in the end.
And, just your point, prior to this last month, if you told me that we were going into this game without Kaká, I would not think we would have been able to win. But, we put two together, and, it's kind of just steamrolled from there. That's just was the tip of the avalanche, so to speak. So, I mean, we could talk about that a little, Ron. What you think the team will? I mean, it was your point, and I'm just coming off of it. So, I think that the team has confidence to win without Kaká now, and I don't think we had that confidence a month ago before this streak.
Well, understand, I don't want to minimize the potential impact that Kaká would have. I would obviously prefer to have him on the field every game. But when you look at how well Orlando City, obviously they won a couple games without Kaká, and then they won a couple games with Kaká over this streak. But Kaká hasn't been the most influential player. He hasn't been, in my opinion, one of the top 5 players on the field for Orlando City. Now, that's a really good thing that this team has learned how to play without him leading the way and having to do everything. That's why this team is playing so well right now. But I think Lewis Neal can do an admirable job at his position. It's just a facilitating position where he can just kind of spray the ball around and not really hurt the team too much. So, but like I said before, Breck Shea is a much bigger miss this game. I thought he was possibly the best player on the field last match. His versatility is unmatched, maybe across the entire league. The fact that he could play left mid, right mid, left back, and do it at a high level. And with his height and his speed, he just possesses a lot of athletic qualities that you just don't see a lot of places outside of guys like Poku. So, I just think I think this team's learned how to play without Kaká. It might be a little bit too late that they figured this out, but I like what they're doing without him, and they do need to learn how to play without him because he is old and he is not going to get better next year or the year after.
Andres, thoughts? You seem to be laughing, so go ahead.
Yeah, I mean that sounds like our 3DPs. They're you already know what to expect from them. Lampard is slowly getting better on our team. I guess gelling better. He's been scoring for us recently, which is great because we were always dependent on David Villa to help us win. But it's a good point. We don't have much to play for other than pride. And when NYCFC gives up a goal, we typically have a really hard time getting back to the game. We might play hard for 15, 20 minutes, and then we give up that one goal. And throughout the whole season, we just collapse after that. So it is scary to think how our team could easily lose this game. Still pretty confident that we'll come out, fight hard, and hopefully come out with a win there. Yeah.
I mean, 2 weeks ago, Ron kind of predicted that the Red Bulls might that we might catch them on their laydown game, and we totally did. So I'm gonna hold my thoughts about the score prediction until the end and who I think's gonna win. But I'd love to see you guys just come here and lay down. I mean, we need the 3. We have to have the 3 points. There's no other option to get in the playoffs. So, if you guys came here and laid down, I would gladly send you guys a handwritten thank you card if you just wanted to fork over the 3. I mean, that's all I got. I think that this game will stay close. I don't think that your head coach really wants to lose to us. I really don't think he wants to finish under the table. You said, who does it matter to if we look down the road 2 years from now and look back on this game, and if neither team made a playoffs, and who does it matter to? And my only answer would be their head coach. I mean, he wants to beat us. He wants to be the better expansion team. Other than that, I think the only people that this game matters to is Orlando City fans, and I know we want to win, and I think that the Citrus Bowl, I don't think we'll have 62,000, but I think this could be the second highest attended game of the year. Ron, you think we can, have the second highest attended this week?
Yeah, that's going to be tough. Unless NYCFC brings down a lot of people, which I don't expect them to. No. And it's not like a crazy travel holiday weekend type thing for Orlando. I don't see over 40. I mean, if they can get 35 again, I mean, let's all sit back and just be impressed with 35. I mean, we get kind of greedy down here, and we want 40, we want 45. But, geez, I mean, come on. If they get 35 again, they were the quickest team last week, last home game, to get to 500,000 fans. So let's just be happy and proud of where we are from an attendance perspective.
And I saw on social media today was the season average of all the teams rankings attendance-wise, and we were second. So, and I actually think NYCFC was third.
Home games. I believe we were ranked third or fourth, and hey, we play in a baseball stadium, so what gives? But going away, I think we actually lead the league in away attendance. That we actually sell out the majority of the other team's stadiums. So, although it is a Friday, many people may not travel because, Saturday shouldn't be a work day for most. But if it was a Saturday or Sunday game, I could imagine there being a much, much larger crowd there.
All right. And do either of you have any, general points that you wanted to talk on or questions that I might have missed? Andres first.
Well, I always have like a silly question. What did you guys think about that tifo when we pulled it up for you in our home game? And is there one for us coming up?
Well, there is one for you coming up. I don't know what it is, but I can tell you that it was not made on MS Paint. Ron, and any
I thought that TiVo was it wasn't the most graphically pleasing to look at, but it was I thought it was clever. I thought the sign was the best on the bottom. I thought that was really clever, and kudos to whoever thought of that. So, it is what it is. Good job, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of hard work went to that. So it was fun to see it, and I mean, that's honestly a fun part of the game, just to see what the other team comes up with next. So I'm looking forward to what you guys have as a response for us. So yeah.
And if you just issued an open challenge to the Ruckus and ILF, I think they will gladly accept it. So is that an open challenge? I need to know.
I mean, I'm not a Third Rail member, and I know the Third Rail are the members that created that TIFO, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a fun challenge, and hey, maybe this is what stirs up our rivalry even more.
Well, maybe next year you can get one of your buddies who's on Third Rail, and I'll get one of my buddies from Ruckus, or I mean, I doubt anybody from ILF would come, maybe Derek, but I could get somebody and we'll let them go at it for a little bit on the match preview show. Ron can come on, give us his insight, and then excuse himself before it gets too unprofessional for him. Ron?
Do what you want, man. It's your show.
I got a few names in my head right now, so you let me know and I'll call them.
All right, well, maybe next year we'll figure it out, something to look out for. All right, well, I don't really have anything else. Andres, was that your only question for us?
Yeah, man. I mean, like you said, it's a game that you care about most. If you lose this game, maybe this is the one game that you'll look back and say we should have never taken them lightly. So I expect you to come out strong and fighting for all 90 minutes. Otherwise, it's just going to be another game for us. And unfortunately, the season is coming to a close really soon. So yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, all season. And Ron, any other, general points or comments?
Sure, I got one. Obviously, the season's coming to a close, and if things don't go well on Friday, the season will be pretty much done for both of us. But what are you, if you had to pick one position or one priority that NYCFC must address this offseason on the field, what would that be?
That would be the defense, because we've got Andoni Iraola, who's I think 33 or 34 on the right back. We brought him in. He hasn't been playing up to speed. Don't forget we have Angelino, who's, 17? I don't know how old he is. He's much younger than all of us. And he's on loan. And then we got Shea Facey, who's also on loan. So if they go back to Manchester City, we've got two big holes to cover up. So I would highly hope that we focus on defense. If I could answer as a plan B, at least our attack, because without Villa scoring, we really have no other option up front. If Villa doesn't score, we typically lose our games. So that needs to change as well. But if I had to pick one, which you asked me to, straight up defense.
Okay, and one real quick last one. It seemed like at the beginning of the year, Mix was pretty popular and playing pretty well, but maybe that isn't the case anymore. What's the general feeling about Mix in the city?
We love him. He brings in a great crowd. He's a great person. But, you expect results. And I'm not saying he has to fill the stat sheets with goals and assists. He does a lot of things that you can't really fill the stat sheet. But at the end of the day, when you're getting paid a certain amount of money, when you're getting called up to the national team, you expect bigger results. And we just haven't seen that. We've seen flashes here and there. But the time comes where it's like, is he going to request DP money? And do you sign him? Do you let him go? What do you do? Do you let him go to a bigger team and we get nothing back in return? So there's a lot of questions. I'd say we love Mix as a player, and we hope he can turn it around next year, because right now it's just not great for us.
And Ron, I'll pose that question to you. What do you think we should do if we could only do one thing?
I wouldn't mind another outside winger or somebody who can spell Kaká, although Molino is eventually going to take over for Kaká. So that position is probably better long term, but probably another outside midfielder / winger, so we have some depth there. I mean, this team's got a lot of international players, where this international problem we've had this year is only going to continue next year. So this team has a lot of talent, but they obviously had problems when the depth became an issue during the year. So that's the biggest thing that Orlando City needs to do in the offseason, is to improve depth. And one of the best ways to do that is, I know, like, if we take a player, sometimes this is an unpopular opinion, but if we take a player like Luke Bowden and we move him to the bench, all of a sudden you have a really, really solid player on the bench that provides good depth. And if you just compare him to Breck Shea's just the better player. And even though we love Bowden and he's played really well this year, that's the way we get better, is to have those guys on the bench. Because believe me, even if Bowden goes into next year not predicted to be a starter, he's still going to get plenty of time with how many injuries and yellow cards and red cards and injury international call-ups. So, yeah, just improve the depth, and then we can get through those rough spells a little bit better.
And, I know neither of you asked me, but in my opinion, we need center halves. I think Hines is here permanently. Mateos slowly got better. and Colin's been the only one who's been consistent. So, I think that second center half position is somewhere up to grabs. But that's all anyway. So, Andres, we all know your prediction, 3-1.
What? Can I change my mind? No,
yeah, you want to change it? Oh, you can.
No, 3-1 us. That's it.
All right, 3-1. And Ron?
Oh, it depends how the game script goes. If Orlando City can get a goal in the first 25, 30 minutes, I think they can pile on and probably even keep a clean sheet. 2-0, 3-0 is not even out of the question. However, I expect NYCFC to keep it close for a while. If NYCFC can score first, obviously it's going to be a tight game to the last minute. I still think Orlando City can come back and win if that happens. But I see Orlando City getting an early goal. I think you see NYCFC wilt. Because if NYCFC gets down early with nothing to play for, they're not all of a sudden going to get a second wind. So I see 2-0 scoreline in Orlando City's favor.
All right, from July 18th on, Orlando City is undefeated at home. We have 3 wins and 2 draws. From July 18th on, NYCFC is 1 win, 1 draw, and 5 losses away. So I think Orlando City is going to win at home 2-0. I think that Mickey is sprinkling his magic on the team, and that 6th spot is just getting closer and closer. So this will be, you know what? I'm not going to say this will be the last fan cam, but if we go to the playoffs, I'm going to do fan cams probably for both games. But
Nice.
That's dependent. I'll definitely be out there doing fan TV, guys. So come say what's up. Tell us what you think. If you guys need to get a hold of me on social media, OC Lions fan _TV on Twitter, as you can see right there under my double chin. Ron is at City Soccer Talk. Andres, you want to tell everybody how you can be best found on social media?
Yeah, social media is NYCFC Podcast, and as the handle says, it's an NYCFC Podcast, so check it out on iTunes and Stitcher.
All right, and don't forget to read Ron's articles, and he's working hard for them, for you, on them, every day and night. So, we appreciate Ron's coverage, and that's citysoccertalk.com. Make sure you watch City Soccer Talk live every day at 5. I think they're only going on Wednesday this week, right, Ron?
Yep, no today. You stole the show today.
All right.
So you better broadcast this right after the show.
Okay. Well, I usually put it up. I'm pretty obnoxious about it. So sorry if I blow up your guys' feeds. But anyway, peace out.
See you guys.
Take care, guys.